Hi Bodelle, obviously welcome to Greyhound Racing SA as your new role as CEO. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and some of the stuff you like to do outside of work.
Yeah, look, I'm very happy and humbled and honoured to be here. When I'm not in a business mode, I'm a mother, a terrible punter, not a great cook, but ultimately a lot of my time is toddler wrangling now. And if you haven't met my son Hunter, I'm sure you will. He's nearly 2 and pretty much into everything. So that's something else that we're learning. But loves obviously watching the racing and you'll go at the TV consistently. Awesome. So I think the only thing he has is racing in his blood. So
that's awesome. Sounds like he has a future in it.
Potentially. I don't think he's going to be. I think it's definitely not going to be short. So I think jockey's definitely out of it. Maybe trainer in some capacity.
Sounds good.
So I'm a pretty big nerd, to be fair. Pretty much my life revolves around hospitality, events, sport and racing. So
yeah, well that's obviously where your main background is. You have a strong background in racing, hospitality and some of the jobs you've done in the past. Tell us a little bit more about those positions and your background in those sectors.
So born and bred into hospitality. Mum and Dad have been publicans for, goodness me, as long as I've been alive. So brought up living on site and running around in hotels. I think the slave labour started around the age of 3, buttering garlic bread and what have you. And Mum and Dad have always had horses. Dad's had board involvement, so I was always his travel companion. So we've pretty much been to every country track throughout South Australia and some bigger ones. So definitely started from an early age.
Yeah, no, it's a fair effort. It sounds like you're really suiting well to this role. And of course, your most recent role was very interesting at the Adelaide Oval. Tell us a little bit more about that.
It was. So I had the opportunity to join the team at Adelaide Oval. I started a month prior to the build of the Oval Hotel as their inaugural general manager and managed to see it right through to when borders finally started to open and seeing it in full flight before I came here. So I was almost there for 3 years.
It's a pretty big task, one of the state's biggest projects, the Oval Hotel. It must have been a very rewarding experience, but a very challenging one as well.
Definitely lots of challenges opening and running any business, as we know, through a pandemic, but most certainly getting building supplies and having to hire staff whilst you're dealing with lockdowns and border closures definitely put another spanner into the mix, that's for sure.
Of course, your racing background, a lot of it in the thoroughbreds. You were the executive chairman and acting CEO at the SA Jockey Club. How was your experience there in the thoroughbred industry?
Absolutely loved it. So I was on the board for almost 10 years before I decided that it was time for me to retire. And I think after 10 years, you can say it's retirement, not resignation. And I was, as I said, the chairman there for 3 years and had the opportunity to be acting C for about 6-7 months whilst we recruited a new one.
That's fantastic. Obviously a very long stint there, but it was obviously very enjoyable. And of course, your family in the thoroughbred game with Finis Lodge. Tell us a little bit more about that and how that came about.
So Finis Lodge actually was born from the fact we were always in horses and owned them, needed to put them somewhere. So we started off with a little 22-acre block and a house and a space for us to adjust some horses, and as parcels of land came up, we bought them, and one thing led to another, and then obviously had Group 1 success with Zip Zip Array in 2002, and that we were definitely bitten by the bug. Yeah,
fantastic. And of course, obviously your introduction to Greyhound Racing, obviously over the last few weeks, a challenging role as CEO, but what are your initial thoughts of the role and of course the industry overall?
I'm absolutely loving it. It's been fantastic to be able to get out now. I've seen and met all of the tracks and all of the clubs and committees, and it's just been fantastic and overwhelming as to how welcoming everyone's been since I've started.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm going to put you a bit on the spot here. Any plans for the short term in your role, or looking forward a bit as well for the long term? Is there anything that's jumped off the plate for you as far as ideas are concerned?
I'm really lucky. I've walked into a really well-established business, a fantastic team underneath me and really engaged participants. So that's definitely a good starting point. I really deem my role to continue to allow the industry to flourish and thrive into the next sort of stage.
Yeah, Bodelle, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and of course best of luck with your role here at GRSA, and it was great to learn a bit more about you.
Thank you.